Well, good evening. Unlike Coach Brogdon and Paul, I decided to do something new for me, which was wear a tie for the first time in 25 years. You're welcome, Brenda. That was Brenda's request. Thanks, Justin, the Hall of Fame committee, all involved in this. With my exception, committee, you hit it out of the park. This class is remarkable that you're inducting tonight. And let me just say to all of you, besides congratulations, the importance really for TU of honoring of each of you and the team tonight is not only the due credit of your accomplishments here, it's the contribution that you've made in setting a standard for the current student athletes here at TU and those to come in years ahead. The fact that they recognize through you that you can reach a level of excellence that's on par with anywhere in the country. So thank you for adding and contributing to that, and congratulations to all of you. Now, our journey goes back about, I saw him walking in here tonight, goes back over 50 years. At 17, when a gentleman that those of us that know him, and that spans a lot of decades, as Coach O, Tom Osowski, made his way out to Bishop Kelly. It convinced me, a lot like the story I heard from Paul, that I could come here and do something that I could at no other place, which is play football and baseball. Sounded great because I was very committed to try to do both. Well, as a lot of us learned that first year, those of us that signed the football scholarship and promised to play both, we then inherited a new coach and athletic director by the name of F.A. Dry, who quickly after year one let us know, you're on football scholarship and you'll play football. So there went our baseball careers. But Coach Osowski is somebody still here today, still active at 91, I believe, going on 92 with TU football, which is a remarkable legacy in itself. In fact, someone that I'd lobby for that should receive this very award at some point in time down the road. And I say, don't wait along. I know he'll live to be 120, but don't overlook him as well. You know, my time here was blessed to have come in with a remarkable class. We're the class of 72 that were the first class that were able as freshmen to play varsity football. I thought I was really being, highly regarded and brought in because I was one of, I think, 6 freshmen that got to come in with the varsity that fall. And in my first couple practices as a defensive back, I was thrown out there to go run into pass skeleton and then work in the one-on-one period. And I thought, well, I've been around Tulsa. I know this team a little bit. And our senior captains were a gentleman named Drew Pearson, a wide receiver, and Raymond Rhodes. A lot of you remember Raymond more because he went on and established great notoriety as a 2-time head coach in the NFL with the Green Bay Packers and Philadelphia Eagles. But also was an all-conference receiver that had transferred here from TCU. Well, in my first couple practices, one of the things I learned quickly was, okay, that's Drew Pearson. Let me step back in the line and I'll go up against somebody else. Oh, wait a minute, that's Ray Rhodes. Let me step one more back and I'll go against somebody else. And so I thought I'd outsmarted everyone, and I said, okay, 1, 2, 3, third guy up. Well, that's my roommate. He's another freshman. Let me line up and I'll go against him. I'll just outsmart all of you. Well, that happened to be Steve Largent. So therein was my introduction here to TU athletics. Looking back through it all, I can think back to 1998 as Bruce was going over the timeline here and getting the call from a gentleman, Dr. Mike Davis, who was the senior VP here and who athletics reported to. At the time, I was, after having a short high school coaching career, 4 or 5 years, and then starting into private business, but had kept a relationship with Mike and others through the years, was called by Mike and asked to say, we have a position that's known today kind of as a deputy athletic director in charge of budget, finances, and the operations. And we think you'd be a great fit for it. And I remember talking with Brenda, my wife Brenda, and at the time, 4 kids under the age of 4, 2 of which are here with us tonight, and saying, gosh, this would be a great chance to be back in college athletics. and something a little bit more stable than coaching. Little did I know what it would turn into. But within 6 months of starting, I had been named, went from that deputy position to interim athletic director under Mike Davis, who at the time was serving as interim president. And I remember when Mike wanted to elevate me to the interim role, I asked him, I said, so Mike, help me out here a little bit. You know, I've been in this thing 6 months now, and now you want me to run the whole thing. What's important to you? And he said, well, you know, he said, look, we've already gone through this when we hired you the first time. You've been an athlete, you've coached, you understand the culture of athletics, you know TU, you know the community, having grown up here. But I would just say this, you know, you've got about 60-something staff members, which at that time was all of our coaches and athletic staff. And you've got over 300 student athletes. And so I said, okay, so I'm responsible for the 60. He says, no, you're responsible for all. And he said, and just remember this, put the athletes first. And so I look back at that time, and after 34 years of serving in this role, starting here through 2 other universities and then ending back here, was really that simply was the outlook that I had, is my role was above all to provide and protect for the young people I was responsible for. And so I look back through all those years, and I think even today, as I see Chris Paul in the room tonight and others like that, what a joy, what a true privilege all these years to be able to be that shepherd, that mentor, that person that helped nurture the opportunity that I was given, that many of my teammates were given, 9 of which were drafted, a lot of them here in the room tonight, of both Steve August and Largent and Buddy Tate and Jeb and others, but so many others too. But one thing that hasn't changed throughout history, one thing, number doesn't change. And I know athletics today, collegiate athletics, is so much driven by numbers. One thing, even as I would say in my last tenure here at TU to parents and recruits when they'd come in, I know you want to talk about numbers, but one number never changes. 1% go beyond. There's just not that many jobs and opportunities beyond. The 1% never changes, even though how we operate today and how Justin's having to do in athletics here and across the country is so different. One number never changes. Only 1% go on and compete beyond this. That being said, it emphasizes the importance of the opportunity that each of us were provided, and that's really why we are here, why we came back, why we had the 34-year journey across the country that was launched here, and unexpectedly, but fortunately, we were able to end here as well. So for that, we'll be forever grateful. Can't say enough again to all of you how important of an impact you had on us, and in turn, you allowed Brenda and I, we were talking this past week, 34 years of doing this at 3 universities, this one twice, we were responsible for over 14,000 young men and women. And that was the greatest privilege of my life, and something I'll be forever grateful for. And thank you, thanks all of you, thank you, TU, for providing us that opportunity. Loyal, always true. Thank you.